So here's my first completed successful Mintypi build. So I have had so much fun making this. It has been enjoyable. And not to mention, even after you're done, it's not like, I've made useless like robots. One time I made a stack robot, just played the game stack for you with an Arduino, totally useless. But this is one project that has just been, even after I'm done, is actually useful. Um, and it's just in time for school, so I'll be able to use this in school, even though that probably isn't the greatest idea. So, where to start? So these parts right here, I did not buy these from Pseudomodo, even though I bought the PCB, the buttons, that stuff from Pseudomod. I did not buy these 3D printed parts. I printed them out on my Monoprice Select Mini, and I just used red PLA. Now you can see it is a little bit glossy, and that is from I sprayed this with enamel coating, just the bezel right here for the screen and the gamepad for the buttons and stuff. And yeah, I just like the feel a little bit better, but I guess it's kind of up to your preference in which stuff you buy. So I've been able to play all the emulators I really wanted to. You can't really play PlayStation or PSP, the newer emulators, but it's really hard to do that even on a regular Pi Zero that's not encased in this stuff. But yeah, I've been playing the Atari 2600 games, the Game Boy games, Nintendo Entertainment System, and Super Nintendo. I'm working on Zelda Link to the Past right now, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. So transferring ROMs, I'm doing it on my Hackintosh right here, using an application called CyberDuck, and there it is right there. And it's easy to use. So it's easy to use, and yeah, not much to say about that. On a Windows PC, it is a little bit easier, to be fair, but you will need to connect your Raspberry Pi to the internet prior to your wireless network prior to putting this together, or else you'll have to tear it all apart again. You can use a wireless keyboard, like if you have a Bluetooth one, you can do that. That should work. So if you need to, do things to this after once you put it together, then that's okay. Now I did run into one problem. This was my fault, to be fair. Now the LCD right here, this is not the LCD that came with Helder's parts. This is one that I bought from China, and that is because that the one I got I ruined like a moron. I accidentally was not paying attention at all, and I cut one of the little fingers off the LCD screen, and that just totally, it really sucked, because you cannot find these screens anywhere except China. So I had to buy one from China, but 10 days later I installed this, and now my Mintypi is working just fine. The other problem, which again was my fault, so when soldering the Raspberry Pi to Helder's custom part, I think I did like a fairly good job, except there was, again, I forgot to test a couple of the pads. I just forgot about them, and I did not, the button on the left in the back, the pad, the solder pad for that, I did not solder that correctly. It just wasn't, wasn't getting a good connection where I put the solder joint down here. But now that I got that fixed, again, it's working just fine. So yeah, it really is a fun project to do. I highly recommend it. I did not install the battery monitor board. Now I may go back and do it on this one, but I think I'm going to use this one for probably a few more weeks, and maybe at some point I'll build another Mintypi, maybe a different color with the battery monitor board, and I'll even put a custom button for that. So And if you're wondering what the battery monitor board, it just allows you to, in the corner of your screen right here, get a, it'll tell you the how much battery you have left. I did put a 32 gig card in here just to be safe, but to be honest, I think you could put an 8 gig card on here. I mean, most the Super Nintendo and like especially the Atari games are only like 6 kilobytes, and the Super Nintendo games are roughly maybe at the most I don't know, maybe a few like megabytes. So I don't think you really need to go crazy like I did. An 8 gig card would probably work. So yeah, but other than that, this has been a super fun project. I highly recommend it, and yeah, that is about it.